Buttons, buttons, get down from there. Stop it. Stop chewing on the wire. You're going to mess up the... Oh, jeez, the one time I try and do something live. Stupid cat. Anyway, hi, anyone who's listening. Hello, this is your friend neighborhood Oddball. Glad to hear from you again. I wanted to do this one live real quick. Well, again, it's classified information where I am, because if I say, then Talon's going to come find me. Again, they already found me where I was on that beach, so I'm going to be real careful with this one. I'm doing this one live, though, because this one is extremely important. I heard about some situation in, I think it's a town called Dorado or something in Spain. I've never heard of it, but there's something about the entire encounter that just drove me crazy. This girl says she was saved by this guy in like a blue biker jacket with a 76 on the back, this big red visor. And I've heard of this guy. He's called Soldier 76. That's at least what he goes by now. But just out of curiosity, idle thing, I heard about this and started digging around in the Overwatch files. And I can't believe the dots that I've connected. Soldier 76 is John Morrison. Yeah, that's John Morrison, the Watch Commander, the guy who was running Overwatch. Okay, I'm going to start from the beginning with this guy, because this is extremely important. This is the superhero for the Overwatch generation. Okay, so background. John, or Jack Morrison, grew up in rural Indiana. He's this young guy who's described as a couple different ways. Rambunctious, humble, salt of the earth, all nice things. Everyone agrees that Morrison was just never destined to live out his days in the land of rolling plains and deep blue skies. Around 18, Morrison packs his bags and joins the military. He planned to serve a brief stint in the armed forces and go home to the farm. His work ethic and courage caught the eye of the military brass, and they gave him this coveted position in the government's controversial and kind of still classified super soldier enhancement program. Him and this other guy, Gabriel Reyes, who I'll talk about in a bit, they helped make Morrison and other inductees into these perfect soldiers with superhuman speed, strength, agility. They went on to put their abilities to use during the Omnic Crisis. Governments tried and failed to neutralize the Omnics, so the United Nations formed the International Task Force Overwatch. It's this small experimental group that would bring together the best and brightest from around the world to wage this asymmetrical war against the robots. Now, on Overwatch's short list of prospective agents included two members of the program, Morrison and Gabriel Reyes, his senior officer. Reyes and Morrison, they were already fast friends. They had these wildly different backgrounds. They got along like a house on fire, which I still don't know exactly what that means. I think that's bad, but they joined Overwatch together, and leadership of Overwatch went to Reyes. But Morrison had the greater impact on the group in the long term. This guy was the face of Overwatch for a long time. He brought out the best in everyone around him and really helped mold Overwatch's diverse and sometimes conflicting agents into a cohesive fighting force. We found unity in Morrison, and we found the strength in that unity to end the Omnic Crisis. It was a great time for us. The UN rewarded Morrison for his contributions by making him Overwatch's first official commander. This passed over Reyes, and it created this rift between the two guys that would have, well, consequences. After the Omnic Crisis, Overwatch experienced this rise in prominence. They got funding, they got resources. It gave the now public organization this far-reaching global influence. The world celebrated Overwatch's agents as heroes, none more so than, John Morrison. He was the face of Overwatch. He was a symbol of hope and promise. From Kings Row to Bangkok, everybody knew this guy's face and believed in him. He envisioned this bright new future for humanity under Overwatch. And under his leadership, Overwatch served as this global peacekeeping force, this engine for innovation. We made all these advances in science as well as space exploration, medical research. But even when Overwatch grew in power, Morrison was just dedicated to the people around him, training new agents, instilling them with Overwatch's noble goals and ideals. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful time to be alive. But hey, nothing good ever lasts, right? Decades after the Omnic Crisis, Overwatch started to be shaken by these series of allegations, and all the agents became targets of derision for the media. Morrison did everything he could to hold Overwatch together, but he was also facing an internal rebellion within Overwatch, led by, wait for it, Gabriel Reyes. I've done some digging in the files, and I have some ideas about what he could have been about, but what he's become The rift that they'd made when they passed over Reyes and given command to Morrison had just grown ever since, and they just became so bitter. 1 year before the official disbandment of Overwatch, Morrison and Reyes came to blows at Overwatch's Swiss headquarters. Somehow, in that fight, they triggered an explosion that destroyed the facility. Now, on paper, it said Morrison and Reyes both died in that fight. I was there when Morrison was buried at Arlington National Cemetery. I remember Reinhardt, one of the original members of Overwatch, standing up at his funeral and fighting back tears and speaking highly of his friend. But the truth is we never found his body. 5 years after the end of Overwatch, this series of attacks started showing up on financial institutions, the shadowy corporations, former Overwatch facilities, all carried out by this unknown guy called Soldier 76. And every time he did that, he stole some Overwatch tech. Now this stuff is dangerous. That's a red light for anybody. He broke into Watchpoint Grand Mesa, stole a pulse rifle. Helix Security International personnel tried to chase down this Soldier 76 guy, but he got away. Now none of the personnel were killed, though some of them were treated for, and this is interesting, non-threatening injuries. One of them stated, under conditions of anonymity, so I don't have their name, that the assailant possessed the strength and speed beyond anything a normal human being should possess, and that he likely had military training. So ever since then, Soldier 76 has become this international manhunt. Everyone's been looking for him. I can't believe this. I've connected the dots, and I'm both delighted and horrified because Soldier 76 is John Morrison. It makes sense when you think about it. Maybe he didn't die in the Swiss Alps, Maybe I'm just, wishing on a star here, but what if he didn't die in the Alps? What if he didn't go down in that fight? What if he's trying to find the people who broke Overwatch and make them pay? I believe that. That sounds like something Morrison would do. Now, thanks to his raids, Morrison, or 76, or whoever he is now equipped with an arsenal of cutting-edge technology, and he's been waging this personal war on anyone who was part of Overwatch in the past, and who I think might have played a part in its collapse and downfall. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit of a fanboy when it comes to this guy, but he got me my first job in Overwatch, okay? I have to give the guy some credit. Now, as for the incident in Dorado, and why I think this is Soldier 76 is John, here's how the accounts go.
Check that out! Hey, come on, compa, get up. Who's that? You see anything? Who's there? Enough games, perro! Come out and fight! No, please.
These aren't your streets anymore!
No, please,
Get on the truck, let's go!
You don't get off that easy.
Eat this!
Why?
Old habits die hard, I guess. Run home, kid. It ain't safe out here.
You're one of those heroes, aren't you?
Not anymore.
I think you are.
Did you see that? There is no way that wasn't John Morrison. There's no way it couldn't have been him. Okay, maybe it couldn't have been him. Maybe it was someone else in the program, or maybe it was just, some guy, an old guy with grandpa hair and muscles for days. But a lot of signs point to Morrison. Commander, if you're out there and if you're listening to this, I want you to know we're all here. You had to have heard Winston reactivate us. You had to have heard the recall go out. So just come find us, okay? We're here, and anytime you want to, we're ready to...
Too easy.
Oh, geez, that's awkward.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Oddballs,